All right, y'all, welcome to the show. So in just a second, Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, is officially cowering in the corner after Trump berated him for telling the truth. So I'll give you all the information about that. Then we'll get to, we got some new polls, and Republicans are continuing to be cooked beyond belief. We also have Trump going full postmodernist and telling the most amazing, mind-boggling lies I've ever seen. Trump's Gestapo, ICE, is now robbing American families and forcing little girls to stand outside naked in the rain. It's like if somebody made this up, you would go, come on, that's too cartoon villainish. There's no way that they're that extreme. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Then we'll get to Alex Jones, to my surprise, is now turning on Trump. We have Jon Stewart gleefully mocking Trump's disastrous first 100 days. We have a huge bombshell story about MS-13 gang members and President Bukele of El Salvador, the dictator. Wait until you hear this one. Dropsite News originally reported it, but now it made its way over to CNN. Rand Paul is declaring war on the MAGA tariffs. And then the other thing is, and for the life of me, I don't understand why nobody's talking about this, but there's evidence already that Israel attacked Iran, like recently, like not that long ago. And I swear to God, I've seen like very, very little talk about this. Very little talk. So that's amazing. So we have a lot to dive into. Everybody, please do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. That helps out big time and costs you nothing at all. You can also click that like button, click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. Thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. Remember, this is real independent media. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser in my life. I'm very proud of that fact. And also, while we're at it, while we're doing shameless plugs, everybody go subscribe to Corin's World. We've been dropping Kyle and Corin's over there. We haven't missed a week since we've been posting it on his channel. And my boy's channel is growing really fast, so that's really cool. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into it. We got a lot to talk about. So we have a bit of a feud, if you can call it that, between the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and Donald Trump. Now, it's a bit of a weird feud. It's a bit of a one-sided feud because, well, I'll just let them explain here. But basically what happened is Amazon was going to put a line when you check out that says how much the tariff charge costs, right? So in other words, hey, the product costs this amount, but it's this much more because of Trump's tariffs. Now, it didn't say Trump, but it would say like tariff charge or something to that effect. Well, you're not going to be surprised to learn that this is something that our big, beefy, wet boy did not like very much. So here, let's watch. Here we have the White House press secretary talking about it, and then I'll tell you what we learned about Trump's reaction.
So it was reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
I will take this since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon.
This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Understand, this move is literally, let's tell the truth. Let's be honest with the American people as to exactly what's happening here and why it's happening and why your goods are more expensive. You cannot get a more straightforward demonstration of, let's tell the truth. And that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable because it makes the emperor look bad. Oh my God.
Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years?
Okay, that's bullshit. Because we know that the previous round of inflation was tied to the supply chain being messed up because of COVID and because of what's called greedflation, which is corporations price gouging to take advantage of the narrative around inflation. That we know that for a fact. That's not conjecture. This time around with the tariffs, it's actually not greedflation. It does have something to do with the supply chain, but it's self-inflicted because the supply chain issues are because of the tariffs.
I would also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring.
But you're doing universal tariffs. We literally don't make the goods in this country for everybody to buy everything American. What are you talking about?
critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
The exact opposite is happening. Oh, we're going to boost our own manufacturing. No, you're not. I've covered, 5, 6 different stories of all these different factories that we're going to open up or we're here shutting down or saying we're not building the factory in the first place.
Still a Trump supporter?
Look, I will not speak to the president's relationships with Jeff Bezos, but I will tell you that this is certainly a hostile and political action by Amazon and Secretary.
This is incredible. This is incredible. It's literally like, here you have a head of a corporation simply telling the truth, and as a result of that, the president is declaring war on him. So, soon after this video came out, everybody online, of course, was like, well, good for Amazon. Like, yeah, tell people the truth. We know already that there are a bunch of like Chinese websites. There's Shein and there's Temu. There's all these websites. They're already putting something similar, right? It says like, this is the tariff charge. It would cost you this amount. It's costing you this much more, right? And the prices are skyrocketing as a result of the tariffs. And so this is Jeff Bezos effectively doing that. And Trump's going, not allowed. And as you all know, Trump won't hesitate to what? Retaliate in various policy-directed ways. So he could find a way to make Jeff Bezos' life hell simply for telling the truth. See, that's what, again, we got to stress that point because this is not an example of like, oh, the head of the corporation has run afoul and they're the one that's wrong in this. No, this is a rare instance of like, the dude is just trying to tell people like, hey, it's not us that's raising the prices. This is what you have to pay because of Trump's tariffs. And that's unacceptable because he can never, under any circumstances, take responsibility and have the consequences of his actions show. Can't be. So then we learn this soon after, right? I swear this was within like an hour we learned this. Ready? CNN reports a pissed Trump called Jeff Bezos after learning Amazon considered breaking out a tariff charge. The White House took aggressive aim at Amazon with President Donald Trump putting in a call to Amazon founder Jeff Bezos Tuesday morning after the company considered displaying the added cost of tariffs on certain items. Trump called Bezos to complain about reports that Amazon was considering displaying the cost of U.S. tariffs next to prices for certain products on the company's website, 2 senior White House officials told CNN. Punchbowl News first reported that Amazon will soon, quote, display how much of an item's cost is derived from tariffs right next to the product's total listed price. The move could directly illustrate to American consumers how Trump's tariffs are affecting the cost of goods. Trump has slapped 145% tariffs on China and a 10% minimum tax on all other countries. The call came shortly after one of the senior officials phoned the president to inform him of the story. Quote, of course he was pissed, one of the officials, granted anonymity to speak candidly, told CNN. Why should a multi-billion-dollar company pass off cost to consumers? Oh my God, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. This is what everybody could have and should have been saying the last time we had a round of inflation, because it was proven as a matter of fact that was because of supply chain issues and greedflation. In other words, we know corporations were price gouging. We have direct evidence of them on their earnings calls saying we're able to raise prices because we can get away with it. So we know that was the case last time. This made sense in the context of back then. But again, right now, this is simply not an example of like, oh, they're getting away with what they feel like they can get away with. No, when you slap a 145% tariff on China, that absolutely is going to impact the price. It's an iron law of economics. So it's not like, oh, Jeff Bezos is just being greedy. No, he's saying, look, this is why it's way more expensive. Oh my God, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it, bro. I mean, this is like the arguments that they're using here. This is like Soviet Union type talking points. Like, no matter what the facts are, let's, in this instance, blame the private company, even though in this instance, the private company is just telling the truth. Oh my God. At a briefing Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt called the move a hostile and political act, adding that she had spoken about the matter with President Trump earlier. An Amazon spokesperson said in a statement to CNN that the move was never a consideration for the main Amazon site and nothing has been implemented on any Amazon properties. So in other words, the story leaks, Trump gets wind of it, calls and berates Jeff Bezos, and Jeff Bezos comes out and said, bro, I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. That was never even under consideration. We weren't even going to do that, bro. That's like fake news and stuff, bro. Oh my God. Amazon, however, said it was considering the idea of listing import charges on certain products on Haul, its spin-off website that sells items below $20. But the change wasn't rolled out. Quote, this was never approved and not going to happen, an Amazon spokesperson said. They are all fucking terrified of Trump. They are all absolutely positively terrified of Trump. And look, the message here is very simple. We said it before, we'll say it again. When you give this man an inch, he will always take a mile. These people feel like, hey, we'll just appease him a little bit here and there, and then we'll get away scot-free. Well, look at what happened with the universities. Look at what happened with law firms. Trump got one law firm to bend the knee, and then he was like, fuck it, I'm going to get them all to bend the knee. And he got them to promise to do hundreds of millions of dollars in pro bono legal work. And he's going to have them defending things like destroying due process in this country and destroying the Constitution in this country. And so when you open the door, okay, hey, we'll listen to what he wants to do on DEI, for example. It never stops there, you dumb bitch. It never stops there. Again, the same thing with the universities. Oh, can you get rid of your DEI programs? That's what the administration would like. Sure, we'll get rid of our DEI program. Oh, by the way, while we're at it, here's a long list of everything we'd like to do. And it includes, we would like some MAGA affirmative action. We would like to basically put the school under some sort of MAGA conservatorship where we get to determine what classes they have and what classes they don't and which professors are hired. And they literally were like, oh, you'll do one thing for us? How about you do everything for us? And so it is fucking disturbing to see this because they still haven't learned. At this late date, they still haven't learned. Hey, dog, you got to fight. You got to all stand unified. You should puff your fucking chest out and say, fuck you. We're keeping that tariff charge in there. We're keeping the line that says this is because of the tariffs. And then when he retaliates, okay, continue. You can react to that too. I don't know if you know this, Jeff Bezos. You're one of the richest men in the fucking world. Right? The idea, I have no tools in the toolbox. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Also, all these people who are being wronged by Trump, law firms, universities, in this instance, genuinely CEOs, you also could tell everybody blow for blow what's happening. The more information people have, the more we can retaliate together, right? And so people are still at this late date, they're not learning the lesson. Some are, to be fair, some are, which is why you see universities now are going fuck off, which is why you're seeing 100 law firms came out and said, we're not doing a goddamn thing for this guy. And then others who had agreed to do stuff for Trump are now balking. So some people are fighting back, but you guys don't get it. He has a spell over everybody because they allow him to have a spell over them. You could just break the spell. You could just be defiant, right? And sure, he'll be flopping around like a fish fresh out of water, and he'll be trying to retaliate. But guess what? You can't retaliate against literally everybody in the country if we all stand up, and all the institutions in the country if they all stand up, right? So, I mean, this is just bitch-made shit right here. It's such a bitch-ass move. Because again, it's not, I got to be clear, man. This is the first time in secular talk history we're ever talking about a scenario where a CEO is not wrong. This show is very anti-CEO. Everybody knows that. But it is what it is. If he's saying, hey, this is how much the tariffs are gonna cost you, that's just the truth. And truth is always a defense. So, wow. One pissed phone call from Donald Trump, and Bezos immediately bends the knee. Wow. And by the way, like, it would be great if Trump had this power, but he used it for good. That would be something totally different, right? I mean, FDR had this power, right? All the executive class was terrified of him, but he was using that power to like, I'm going to tax the shit out of you and redistribute the wealth and give people jobs and look after working class people. Well, that's wonderful. If Trump was able to use this power for good ends, then I'd be singing his praises. But he never does. He does it for selfish ends, right? He does it to puff up his ego and live out his extreme narcissism. So I can't deal with this anymore, man. These people, they are such fucking cucks. They are such cucks. You have people with 1/20,000th the power of Jeff Bezos who are more brave in taking a stand against this asshole. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.